had to do a lumpectomy and radiation. And she ended up actually doing a breast reduction because she was very large anyway. Um, but I'm such an advocate where, I mean, I wish these doctors, especially in the United States, would just listen and let these women, if they want to have a mammogram at 20, let them have that mammogram. I mean, I'm going to be teaching my kids as soon as they start developing how to look for symptoms, because I never, like I said, I hardly ever did self exams. And besides just feeling it, there's so many different ways to tell if something is wrong with your breast. Because if your boob is indented, or if you have discharge coming out of your nipple, I mean, there's so many different things that I really didn't know about. And so I'm going to teach my girls when they start developing and say, listen, you need to do this, at least once a month. You need to check yourself, if not more. And if something doesn't feel right, you need to be an advocate for yourself. And for these women that are being diagnosed, I mean, I'm on a lot of Facebook groups, and I keep seeing women who are 23, 24, 25, 26 being diagnosed. I mean, it's absurd, and it's heartbreaking that these women have to go through it this young. I mean, I'm young. I'm in my 40s, but even younger than me, 20s and 30s, it's not fair. It really is not fair.
Right. And especially if you don't have the thought or know to do your self exams, or just tell your doctor, hey, let's just take a look.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's just, and again, I wish these doctors, would listen. I mean, I've got great doctors, because now every little bump and bruise, I think something's wrong with me. I mean, I had felt, because I still, even though I don't have any breasts, I still have to do exams on myself. It's a lot easier for me to see if I have a lump, because I have nothing there, but I still have to feel, like I'll still feel in my armpits. And I had felt something one time, and I had messaged my doctor, and he said, no questions asked. He said, let's go get a scan. Let's go see what's going on. And luckily, I mean, it was nothing. It was just something in my head. Um, but I don't care. I mean, I have insurance, thank goodness, but uh, if I think something's wrong with me, I'm like an hypochondriac now, which I never was before, but it's still in the back of my head. And that's what a lot of people don't realize that don't have cancer. They look at you, because now my hair is back, and they think, hey, you're fine now, you're cancer free. But you know what? There's so much more to that. I'm really not. I will never be cancer free, because I still have to get checked. I think every little thing. I mean, my cholesterol has gone up. I've never had high cholesterol before. And so with radiation, I mean, there's so much underlying things, like even with the chemo drugs and the radiation, it can turn into a different type of cancer. And a lot of people don't realize that. It could turn, I mean, it could be blood cancer, it could be bone cancer. I mean, it could do anything. And so I still have to be careful. I mean, I'm starting to exercise again. I'm still not the greatest with eating right, because my downfall is sweets. And the problem is sugar. Cancer really grabs on to the sugar. And so I really should not be eating as much as I am. But again, as long as you do it in moderation, my doctor even said, do it in moderation, because I don't want to I don't want to die thinking to myself, I wanted that piece of cake and I didn't, because, I thought I should be so healthy. But you know what? If I want that piece of cake, I'm going to eat that piece of cake.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want, I don't want to, go away saying, I'm not going to eat the whole cake. But as long as you do stuff in moderation, and that's what I'm trying to get better with. I mean, we've always kind of ate right. I mean, we try to eat organic meats, fruits and vegetables. I just got to get better with some things. but yeah, I mean, every little bump and bruise. I mean, I had a ganglion cyst on my right above my wrist, and of course, I saw this protruding, and I said, "Oh my God, what is that?" And so I went into my dermatologist, and actually I went to my doctor first, and she said, "Oh, that's just a ganglion cyst." She goes, "Try to tap on it with a spoon and maybe it'll go down." She goes, "It's nothing to be concerned about, but it was an ugly thing and it bugged me." So I just went to the dermatologist and they sucked the pus out and now it's fine. Um, but like I said, every little bump and bruise, you think as a cancer patient, you go, "Oh my goodness, what's wrong with me now?" And that's what I want to get out to people too, that just don't really understand it, is that even though we look fine, act fine, deep down we're still really not fine, because we're always questioning everything that's going on with our bodies.
Wow, man. First time I've teared up during the
I know it's a lot. It's a lot to it's a lot to take in.
It is. And I appreciate you being like fully vulnerable with us. And wow. So how do people reach out to talk to you, or even just be part of those groups, those community groups you're a part of?
Yeah, so I have my own website. It's called Flor Publishing, FLOR publishing.com. You can actually, I'm started to do blogs on there as well. And my books are available on there. You can actually get them through Amazon, all of my books and journals. And yeah, just follow me along. I'm on Instagram, Marci Cox author. I think that's my Instagram. And but you can, once you go on my website, you can connect with me. You can also see my YouTube videos that I've done, and a lot of Facebook sites. There's so many breast cancer Facebook groups out there. And yeah, just reach out to me. I'm an open book. As I said, I want to help as many people as I can. So if anyone reaches out to me, I'd love to chat with them. I'd love to share my story, or if they just need to talk and tell me, "Hey, I'm scared," I'm there for them. I get it.
Well, thank you, Marci, for coming on. I appreciate it. I hope our listeners appreciate it, and let them know that they're not alone. There's different ways and to go through this, and it's okay to be vulnerable, as you were with us today.
Absolutely. And I appreciate you having me on. I really, really appreciate it.
Absolutely. Wow, guys. I mean, if that wasn't emotional for you, I kind of want you to message me and tell me why. Because I teared up over here. Marci had an amazing story, and it's amazing the fact that she thought of other people a lot more than she thought of herself, even though she was the one going through that journey. Yikes. I'm your host, Rockshana. Today's guest was Marci Cox. Be sure to tune in each week for a new episode, and remember, everything and anything goes. The sky is the limit. Music for the Things of That Nature podcast is an original track by Jared Sacramento called Dosage.